Peace be upon you. My name is Liz, and I currently live in Houston, Texas. The story I'm about to tell, I have changed everyone's names for privacy reasons. This incident took place back in 2016. At that time, I was staying at a friend's house in Houston for 2 months for summer classes. My parents were still in Louisiana, and they were in the process of looking for an apartment in Houston to move into. But since my summer classes were about to start and I couldn't miss them, the plan was that while they searched for an apartment, I would move in with my friend temporarily. Once they found a place, I would move back in with them. Everything was fine in the beginning. My friend had a big house. Her parents were doctors. We were only taking 2 classes at that time and didn't have many assignments, so we were just enjoying ourselves. Going out to eat, going out to hang out, just passing time. That whole summer, we were just chilling. Our friendship was still new. It had only been 3 or 4 months. And how we became friends is a very interesting story in itself. I'll get into that later. One day, we were sitting in the living room talking about doing a horror movie marathon. Her 2 younger sisters insisted they wanted to watch too. We tried to send them away, but they wouldn't leave us alone, so we said, fine. Then the youngest sister, around 10 or 12 years old, said, "I have another idea. We can watch the movies and also play with a Ouija board to make it extra scary. I have one." My friend and I looked at each other. We said, "Okay, we'll scare them properly then." They had a housekeeper who overheard our conversation. She came into the living room angry and said absolutely not. She said the Ouija board is a portal to hell. It invites entities. She said she would hide it and not let us use it. She was Salvadoran, and in her culture, these things are taken very seriously. Demons, entities, witchcraft. They believe the Ouija board is truly a portal. We didn't take it seriously. We thought it was just a children's toy. We thought she was overreacting. But now I realize she was justified. That night, we set up the Ouija board. We lit candles, turned off the lights, sat in a circle. We started playing. Honestly, nothing happened. We just scared each other and joked around. In the end, we scared the younger sisters a lot, then told everyone time's up and sent them to their rooms. My friend and I went to our room and put on a TV show. Outside, a thunderstorm started. Heavy rain, strong wind, thunder. I told my friend this weather would have been a perfect effect while we were playing earlier. She said, "Do you want to do it again?" It was around 3 a.m. We had seen in horror movies that 3 a.m. is the witching hour. So we said, "Let's actually do it." Perfect timing. We went back, lit candles again, started playing. For almost an hour, nothing happened. The first 30 minutes were completely normal. We were about to give up. Then, the planchette moved. We both looked at each other. I asked, "Are you moving it?" She said no. I swore I wasn't. It started spelling words. Dead. Hell. Strange answers. But we were skeptics. We said, maybe it's psychological. Maybe subconscious movement. We closed it and went to sleep. Days passed. We forgot about it. Until one night, her parents had tickets to watch a play in downtown Houston. They invited me, but I didn't want to go. The tickets were expensive, and I wasn't interested. I said I would stay home and do homework. They left around 7 p.m. I locked the front door behind them. I sat in the living area on a pillow on the floor. They had a cat. I was playing with it. About 5 or 10 minutes later, the cat suddenly froze. It stared at nothing. Its gaze moved from one side to another, then upward. Its eyes widened like it was about to attack something. It started growling softly. Then it walked to a corner near the door and sat facing the corner, staring at something, its tail flicking back and forth, like it was watching something move. I thought maybe it saw a bug. I was sitting in the center of the house. It was a 2-story house with a high ceiling. From where I sat, I could see the second floor railing. To my left was my friend's parents' room. Above it was the youngest sister's room. To my right was the kitchen and living area. Upstairs, there was another sitting area and theater rooms. Then suddenly, I heard what I can only describe as someone running on the second floor. On my right side. Then it sounded like something ran across in front of me. Then I started hearing multiple noises around me. Knocking, running, a strange chaotic noise. I couldn't explain it. The atmosphere changed. It became heavy, dense, suffocating, like I could cut the air with a knife. I panicked. Instead of running out the front door right in front of me, I ran upstairs toward the youngest sister's room. I don't know why. I didn't think. I just ran. As I reached the stairs, I heard a loud growl from her parents' open bedroom. A deep, long growl. So distinct that I stopped mid-run to listen. That's when it hit me. There was something in the house. I ran upstairs, locked myself in the youngest sister's room. I stood facing the door, certain something was standing on the other side. As I stood there, I felt heat rising from beneath my feet. Not warm air, heat, like from an electric heater. In that moment, I believed I was going to die that night. I thought, not tonight, not in this house. I decided I would run. I recited whatever verses I remembered. I opened the door and ran. I didn't look left or right. I ran down the long spiral staircase without falling. I ran to the front door. When I stepped outside, it felt like I had returned to my world from another one. The atmosphere was completely different. Even though the neighborhood in Houston was dark and mostly empty houses, it felt safer outside than inside. I sat outside for nearly 2 hours. I tried calling my friend but didn't alarm them. Eventually, I checked inside again. The house felt normal. Completely normal. The fear was gone. I had a severe migraine. My eyes hurt from light. I took pain medicine in the kitchen, went upstairs to my room and fell asleep instantly. Like I hadn't slept in days. Completely exhausted. After that, smaller incidents kept happening. Not daily. Sometimes nothing for days. Then something again. We didn't connect the dots at the time. One night, half asleep, I heard my door open. I saw my friend come and sit on my bed. I told her, "You won't believe what just happened to me." She didn't reply. I called her name twice. She started crying without looking at me. Later, I found out her parents had a huge fight at the play that night and again at home. The house became tense and depressing for a week. I tried to stay out of the way. I couldn't leave because my parents were still in Louisiana and my classes had started. One day, while my friend and I were doing assignments in the living room, her mother started playing verses on the house speakers. The sound system could only be controlled from her room or the youngest sister's room. The recitation would start, then stop. Start again, then stop. Then suddenly it switched to music. Her mother came out angry, asking who was turning it off. We hadn't touched anything. It happened again. Verses stopped and music started playing. After that, more tension started between my friend and her parents. One day, her mother said she had called someone to bless the house. The woman told her there was darkness in the house. Not just family problems, but an entity. Later, we all shared experiences. Her father said something came to him in a dream, covered in hair from head to toe. It told him to burn the Ouija board. The name it told him was the same name the board had given us that night. They burned the board. A few days later, my parents came to Houston to look for apartments. They visited us. My father was acting strangely. He dropped his tea mug unexpectedly. Later, my mother called and said my father felt something dark in the house. My father has never believed in these things. He never spoke about jinn or black magic. For him to say that meant something was wrong. And then I remembered something. When I was in Louisiana, I had prayed for a good friend. The night I prayed, my phone started buzzing. I was added to a random Facebook group. All the girls in the group had the same name as me. I kept leaving, but they kept adding me back. And that is how I met her.